Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning on the Memorial Day weekend, and we're so glad that you're with us. And we are also really grateful to have Lynn Padlow with us this morning, who just graced us with that heart-opening music. So thank you so much, Lynn. We're going to start off as usual with singing songs together. And so the words to the first song will appear instantaneously. The first one is "This Is the Day." Boy, is he good or what? So would you please stand and join us in singing? This is the day, this is the day that the Lord hath made, that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice, and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, that the Lord hath made. One more time. This is the day, that the Lord hath made, that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice, and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, that the Lord hath made. And next, we're going to wake up. Thank you very much. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. Oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good, and it's all up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. Oh, life can be good. Oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good, and it's all up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind, and in this power I'm set free. And in this power I'm set free. And in this power I'm set free. Yay! Next we have "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning" with altered words. So just to let you know, so that you don't just sing the traditional ones, although if you do, probably we wouldn't notice. It's a bright golden day in Modesto. It's a bright golden day in Modesto. Our spirits are high as an elephant's eye, and I bet we could get them clear up to the sky. Oh, a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going God's way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. They chime in my ear that God's kingdom is here. The moment we let go of worries and fear. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going God's way. Oh, what a beautiful day. You're sounding wonderful. Thank you. And we're going to join hands now and sing the Lord's Prayer. And if you're not a hand holder, it's okay. You don't have to. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Thank you. You can have a seat. And I'm not sure who's doing announcements today. Is it you, Cari? Nope, it's Nancy. Here she comes.
Good morning and happy Memorial Day. Can you tell? Okay. I think I managed to get a packet to all of our people that are here for the first time. If you didn't, then holler at me and I can get you a packet. And welcome, welcome, welcome. We're delighted to have you. The disclaimer is Reverend Cindy is off for today. She went up to Oregon to take just a little break because she's been doing 110% at least and needed a break. So our speaker today is Cari, who is licensed Unity? Almost licensed Unity. She's putting in all the hard work to get there. So when you make it, we're going to have a big party, right? Yes. And she does a wonderful job. I've taken classes from her, and you're going to enjoy her this morning. So next month is June, and it's imagination is the power that we're going to be looking at, the aspect of our divinity that is imagination. The color is light blue, so anytime you remember in the month of June, wear light blue. And we're having a Father's Day barbecue next month on June 16th. We're proud to have the opportunity to partner with Ragin' Cajun Kitchen. Say that 3 times. Offering delicious Southern-style barbecue plates for Father's Day, and the meals include barbecue chicken or pulled pork, potato salad, baked beans, and garlic bread for $12 a plate. Ragin' Cajun will be set up in our parking lot to simplify the process, allowing community members to just drive through and pick up their barbecue plates, or after church, you pick up your barbecue and take it home and have a ball. Sharon Casey has volunteered, bless her heart, to manage this event. So you'll want to see her regarding volunteering. I think there are enough of us now. Rick and I are going to do it, and someone else, I think Sharon said. So we'll help with handing things out. And Lorraine has volunteered to sell tickets after service starting today. So if you're ready to pick up some barbecue tickets, did you know that, Lorraine? Do you have the tickets? Are we going to be able to manage this? You have the tickets, Brian. Okay. So Brian can give them to Lorraine, and you can hit Lorraine up. And I do believe we need to get in our orders for chicken ahead of time, because apparently there was a limited number of chicken, but lots of pulled pork. So we hope to see a nice little fundraiser for this one. So share the information with anyone you know. Ask your neighbors, hey, you want me to bring you dinner? Well, give me $12 and I will do this. There are ordination requirements for our ministers. Cindy's been ordained already in religious science, and she's working for ordination in Unity, because we are a Unity church. And Unity Worldwide has asked that all Unity churches have an ordained minister now. And the wonderful news is that Reverend Cindy's only a year away from meeting her requirements. In order for her to meet all the requirements and be ordained next March, we can look forward to that, she's required to attend the Unity Convention in Missouri next month, as well as a Youth of Unity program in September. And we're asking that if you feel it in your heart to assist, we'd like to accept donations to support the church in meeting all those requirements this year. We're starting a special Get Your Minister Ordained fund and encourage everyone to support her in this process. It's going to be expensive this year. It's around $3,000 for each of the trainings. But in the long run, it will save us money, because it will mean she's going to meet all the requirements by the end of the year, be able to get ordained, and not have to start all over again. I can't believe the organization wants to do that. And you can edit that last comment. The food closet. We're blessed, and we share our blessings. We have our box in the back of the room right next door here. And it's been a busy month for our food pantry, and stocks are a little bit low. So when you go shopping, you can pick up an extra couple of things, or hit a 99-cent store, or whatever place has it real reasonable, so your money can buy something for a couple of meals. So bring them in and just poke them in there. Or you can donate a gift card to a grocery store if you want to. The prayer pilgrims, and I'm one of them. I don't have my stole on right at the moment. It doesn't match. What can I say? And, we have Margaret and Gary, if you both stand up, and myself is there. And we're always on call. Even if we're not wearing our stole, our commitment is to support you in prayer. And if you'd like to have a prayer, say a prayer with a prayer pilgrim, catch one of us after church, and we'll step off in a corner and support you totally, because prayer works. It's important. So, now it's a daily word. Is that right? You're going to talk. All right. We're going to put the timer on.
One of the things that we're doing is, after a board meeting, I come and give you a brief overview of what we discussed. And we had a board meeting last Sunday, and the board approved the minutes as written. Thank you so much, Madam Secretary Lorraine Cardoza. Very busy lady, and she does a wonderful job. The financials, the board had some questions. And as we've discussed in the past, we're in the process of fine-tuning it in Excel and making sure that everything's in the right category, especially script and the bookstore and inventory. Nothing against Laura. She does an amazing job. But when we look at it, we realize it needed improvement. And as we said, it's an ongoing process. So because of that, we held off approving this last month's financials, and, look forward to seeing what's happening next month. Reverend Nancy already discussed about Reverend Cindy and the ordination process. So thank you for doing that. That was obviously a topic of discussion. And the good news is, though, this September, when she has to do a YOU youth program, she's going to Reverend Sheila's in Houston because they've already got that going. So it'll be minimal. It'll just be the cost of the airfare. So that's good news. Sadly, Brian stepped off the board due to work commitments and a whole bunch of things that he's going on. But the good news is he's staying on our marketing committee, which he's a tremendous asset. He's so talented, and he's still our handsome tech guy in the back. So thank you, Brian. Yes, thank you. Major contributor. And his term would have been up the first of the year. In addition, Reverend Nancy was talking a little bit about policies and procedures that are changing for us and for all of Unity worldwide. And one of the things is that a board member cannot be married to a staff member. So they, I asked them if they wanted to get a divorce. Yeah, I don't know why they were ready to choke me. I don't get it. But, so clearly, that would have had to have changed anyway. Another change is that board members, of course, you have to be a member for a year. That's always the same. But a paid staff member of the church cannot become a board member. So, we had bylaws and we were getting ready to give them our input. We understand revised bylaws are coming. So, ever changing. And I like change personally because, it gives us an opportunity to look at things from a different perspective and grow, and sometimes, you get comfortable, but you can't grow spiritually, personally, a church, unless some things are changed up. So I think in fact, I know good things are coming. I don't know the date of our June board meeting yet. We're waiting to hear from Reverend John when he's coming. So, we should know that. And you're always, always invited to attend our board meetings. I attended for a full year before I was a year-long member and could apply. Because I just really wanted to be on this board. So we invite you to attend at any time. So that's it for me. Carrie, I think. Oh, Gary? Oh, Gary. Okay, Carrie, Gary. Oh, and I am really happy to see you.
Yes, we do the name thing on purpose so it all blends together other than that very first phoneme, yeah. From the Daily Word for Sunday, May 26th, in case some of you didn't catch the presence today, this is the middle day of a 3-day weekend, so we would all rather be where everybody else is vacationing. Maybe not. In the silence. For in the silence I find peace, and in the silence I find self. Rather than allow my mind to be easily swayed by outer circumstances, I look beyond appearances to the truth of my being. I do this by turning within to a place of peace, the silence. As the words in Christian healing reminds readers, to realize God, we must quit our outer thoughts and enter into the stillness, the peace, and the harmony of spirit. When I turn within to pray, negative thoughts become limiting thoughts and they dissipate. For here in the silence, I am one with Spirit. And in this conscious awareness of my higher power, I recognize my spiritual attributes that are mine through divine grace. And here I find the strength that I seek, the love that sustains me, and the peace to soothe my soul. And as I move back into my day, I take those elements with me, and I am renewed in mind and heart. And Deuteronomy 27:9 says, keep silence and hear, O Israel. And do we have for the last time? No, it won't be. Yes, it will be. The last time for this affirmation, read it silently to yourself. Together, I have the power to create my world.
In the back of the room, well, you guys are taller than I am. In the back of the room, we have our prayer box. And into this, we place our requests, whether it's ourself, our family, world events, anything that is concerning you right now, write it down, drop it in here, let it go, let God. And we know that that one power and presence of love, energy, and healing is in, through, and around every atom, every molecule, every person, place, and event. That power of God moving through all that is towards creating the best for each and every person or situation, the highest level of healing, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially. Whatever is the need and the desire, that is reached. It is done. It is done in mind, and we see it done in reality and physically. And for this, we are filled with gratitude. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Would you like us to? Okay. We're preparing for meditation. Open your heart to love. Open your heart to love. Then you will know what dreams are made of. Open your heart to love. Let your walls come crashing down. You'll find blessings all around. Don't look out, just look within. For you a new world will begin. Open your heart to love. Open your heart to love. Then you will know what dreams are made of. Open your heart to love. Reach out to your fellow man. Always lend a helping hand. The greatest thing that you can do is give love and receive it too. Open your heart to love. Open your heart to love. Then you will know what dreams are made of. Open your heart to love. Open your heart. Open your heart. Open your heart to love.
Let's take a breath together. In. And then let it go. And feel your chair supporting you. And if it's comfortable for you, allow your eyes to close. Think about your day so far this morning and the thoughts that you've had, the words that you've spoken, and the emotions that you've had. Think about the ripples that those perhaps would be sending out as energy. And if there's any you find that you'd like to correct and send out something different, then take a moment to do that now. And continue to focus on how you would like it to be as we move into the silence. And as you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the room. Today's message is titled Winning the Game of Thrones. Are there any Game of Thrones fans here? A few. Even if you aren't, there's a lot of people around the world right now talking about this. You might have heard about it or read about it. This HBO series that just finished an 8-year run had epic battles as well as romance and suspense. But the big question throughout the show was who is or who will be the ruler of the 7 kingdoms? In essence, who rules the world? We've been talking about the power of power this month, one of the 12 powers available to be accessed by us to enhance our lives or otherwise affect our world. Other names for this power are the power of dominion and the power of mastery. The Game of Thrones gives a number of examples of this power of dominion, used in ways that ultimately backfire on the user. There was one ruler who lost everyone that ever might have mattered to her as she clawed her way to the top. She made it to the top of the heap, at least for a time, but getting there left her full of bitterness and, for the most part, alone. There was another who decided it was her calling to free the world of tyrants. She got many to rally behind her as she ruthlessly and without mercy removed any who would not swear undying loyalty to her. She was a tyrannical liberator from tyrants. She was not aware that she was the enemy that she was fighting. This was to her detriment. Each of the 12 powers are present within all of us, and we use them all the time, intentionally or not. Being aware of ourselves and where our consciousness is focused, would enhance our ability to use our spiritual tool set in alignment with our goals. Charles Fillmore saw the power of power as energetically vibrating our intentions and desires out into the world. He primarily associated it with the spoken word, but any energetic emanations from us that influence people and events in our lives could be seen as an expression of power. This month we affirm, I have the power to create my world. We are reminded that we are actively participating in creating the many aspects of our lives. Our bodies are products of our DNA, the food we eat, and the environment we live in. Yet we are also aware that a large part of our experience in our bodies has to do with what's going on in our thoughts and in our emotions. As we deal with the situations in our lives and relationships with others, the way we think about those situations and respond to them affects our overall sense of well-being, our emotions, and that our ability to think and make decisions. And those thoughts and emotions in turn are affecting our bodies. What about the world outside of me and the people in my life that I interact with? Do I have anything to do with the world out there as well? Some of you know about the work that I do. I look at the top internet search trends each day to get a picture of what we collectively are focusing on. And I turn that into a forecast for tomorrow's stock market and general news themes. It's actually possible to correctly say whether tomorrow's market will be up or down based on our collective consciousness. It's correct about 2/3 of the time. For stock traders, 2/3 is a substantial edge. A couple of years ago, I was looking into applying this idea to individuals to see the relationship between our consciousness today and our experience in the next day or two. If we can get general future news themes from collective consciousness, why couldn't we get personal news themes from personal consciousness? A few friends volunteered to help me, and each and every day we all answered a few questions about our day. How busy were we? How calm were we? And a few other things. We started noticing some useful information about the general themes of our days yet to be. 3 general themes showed up for each upcoming day: the main task of the day, the challenge of the day, and the type of circumstance of the day. It was kind of like a horoscope, but generated by each person's own answers about how they thought of a day they just finished experiencing. This was exciting. I started trying to figure out how to turn this into an app that people could use. Yet something happened that changed my mind about this. Every winter solstice, Daniel and I find a good spot to watch the sunrise and welcome the sun into the new solar year. The night before, I was looking over our answers and what they meant for the next day. It struck me that tomorrow's themes looked somewhat intense and like what could possibly be a car accident. I was concerned enough that I was considering the idea of changing our plans and not going anywhere. I prayed about it, and I got one of those rare, clear answers. It said, go anyway. And so I did, and we did. It was a beautiful sunrise. On the way home, traffic started to slow. Behind us, a fully loaded semi-truck did not slow down. It smashed into the back of the little Kia we were in. Our glasses flew off our heads and into the back seat. The seats we were sitting in got a little twisted. The trunk was in the back seat. We were a bit shaken up, but otherwise okay. Yes, there indeed was a car accident. Later that day and over the next few days, we were a bit sore. Since personal health insurance doesn't cover car accidents, we had to go to the attorney route and went to a chiropractor a few times a week over the next several months. Yet since then, we have made a full recovery. So why did I get that message to go anyway? In the days following the accident, I was even more excited than ever to make an app out of this idea. We continued with the research, but I noticed that before each day was over, I was checking to see how tomorrow was going to be like. This made me less able to live today for today. I noticed a feedback loop beginning that didn't look like it was going to end well. As I learned more, I went back to that car accident day and reviewed it. Daniel's task for the day, he was driving, was not knowing, and his challenge had been maneuvering. It was his task for the day to not know what was ahead and not to try to do anything about it. Daniel had not seen the truck coming until the very last seconds as he briefly noticed a large truck suddenly filling the rearview mirror. If he would have seen it, he might have tried to get out of its way, and something much different and much more serious could have played out. It dawned on me that if he had been hyper alert to the possibility of a car accident, he might have seen it coming, and in this case, that could have had a tragic result. My conclusion was to stop this line of research. It's not knowing exactly what we're creating that is going to help us out. Yes, I am co-creating my reality with God. Yes, I have a part in what is happening in my life, yet there's a bigger picture than what I think I'm doing. There is more at work here than I can keep track of, and trying to control it all would probably not be helpful. I stopped that work on the connection between individual consciousness and events, but what was learned from that has since turned into new discoveries. The latest exploration is what makes a sports team win or lose to another team. The money we received from the accident has allowed Daniel to work full-time gathering data on sports teams and exploring this avenue. We don't know where this is heading, but we are learning a lot in the meantime. You may recall that I mentioned that by watching collective consciousness, it's possible to predict the direction of tomorrow's stock market about 2/3 of the time. The same thing is showing for sports teams. By looking at the social media posts that each team puts out ahead of a game, in a sense the team's attitude or consciousness, it's possible to predict which one will win about 2/3 of the time. I'm wondering if this means that as individuals or groups that we have a direct impact on most of the circumstances in our lives, somewhere around 2/3. The good news is that we have the power to create our world, that we have a lot more to do with both the circumstances of our lives and the quality of the world we live in than most of us could imagine. The other good news is that this would mean that there's a good chance that individually we are not in control of everything that happens. This is good because it reminds me not to assume that I caused or created every situation I find myself in. It also cautions me not to think I know the cause of what happened to somebody else. This way I can focus on my response to the current moment. What can I do to recenter myself spiritually? What can I do to feel at peace today? I don't have to blame myself or obsess about how I possibly could have wanted this in my life. I find that idea a relief. Yet I don't want to discount how powerful we are. Jesus showed us over and over what kinds of things we can do from a place of spiritual connection. It's so easy to dismiss those stories as long ago, just a metaphor, or perhaps is unattainable until some future date of enlightenment. Have any of you ever experienced Reiki or some other form of hands-on healing? What about an answered prayer with a physical healing? What about things working out just in time, or exactly how they needed to when it seemed impossible that things could work out? And then there's more spectacular things, the special effects kinds of things. You probably heard the story of Jesus calming a storm. Have you heard of people that interact with the weather today? There are Native American tribes who, until just a few years ago, were inviting outsiders to watch them do a rain dance. Visitors would be in awe as clouds would appear overhead shortly after they started. There's a story of a tornado approaching Unity Village, and 2 people were up in the tower. They did not have a chance to get into the basement. One of them, without thinking about it, faced the storm and told the storm, "Peace, be still." Apparently it listened. A friend of mine was in her backyard as the skies turned dark and green, signaling an approaching tornado. The trees in the yard started blowing in a circular fashion around her, and she did a similar quieting of the storm. The people of Atlanta a few years ago were experiencing a drought so severe that they only had about a month before the city would run out of water. The governor of Georgia organized a prayer vigil at the Coliseum. The atheists were really upset that he was perpetuating such idiocy, that a prayer could change anything about a situation. Within a couple of days after the vigil, it rained. The drought was over. When we use our power with intention from a place of connection, amazing things happen. When we connect with Spirit in prayer, miracles can happen. Sometimes amazing or miraculous things happen without any conscious intervention on our part. I was flying in a plane a few weeks ago and was in the process of putting on my seatbelt. I had my hand up, and all of a sudden I noticed an earring had fallen into it. It was my right earring. This was such a small thing compared to a drought-ending rain, but it was amazing nonetheless. It could easily have fallen off down onto the floor of the plane and been lost. It's these kind of things that give me the feeling of being watched over and cared for. Some might think it naive, but I live for those moments. As powerful as we are, I find it comforting that the one power behind all things is everywhere present, including what is unfolding in my life. I might not always understand it, and I certainly might not always like it. But things are as they should be in this moment. They couldn't be any other way. If you would like to develop or enhance any of your 12 powers, start with expanding your awareness of presence. You could do this by starting a daily practice of meditation, a few minutes each day. Add a reading to it, such as the daily word, to give yourself a spiritual focus. Those that follow the Course in Miracles have a workbook with a focus for the day that they can use. Check in with Spirit throughout the day, and especially check in before making any major financial or time commitments. If you pray about it, looking for an answer, it will come to you in some form. Wait for it. Finally, take classes or workshops that will help you to clear away the noise that clutters your mind and closes your heart. The Radical Forgiveness workshop that was just offered here was a good one for that. Another would be classes and workshops by Martha Creek. She'll be visiting this area in July and presenting something at Unity of Stockton. To win the Game of Thrones is to realize that you are a powerful being. with great influence in your world. Yet there is really just one power and one presence in all of the world. That one is on the throne. To the extent you are in alignment, you win. To the extent you have the space within your consciousness to allow that one is expressing through you as you, and in everyone and everything else, it can't possibly matter whether there is a throne or a winner. At that point, it won't matter at all that you are powerful. Because wherever you are, power is. Thank you.
There's a heart that will never turn away. There's a love that I know is here to stay. There's a peace that will fill the world one day. And it's all inside me. There's a friend who will always care for me. Every hour of my life be there for me. There's a strength that will always carry me. And it's all inside me. And I know I will find my way to the place that is mine. All the love and the light I need wait for me here inside. There's a faith that will see me through each day. There's a word that is here each time I pray. There's a song that will heal my soul today. And it's all inside me. There's a spirit divine and ever free. There's a light that will shine eternally. There's a dream of a world in harmony. And it's all inside me. And I know I will find my way to the peace that is mine. All the love and the light I need waits for me here inside, inside.
Now it's the time that we get to share our gifts. And if you'll join me in saying together our offering statement.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And would you please join me in singing What Is Mine to Give? What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, What can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you. What is mine to give? What is mine to do? All I want is to share myself with you. So I stand here asking, what can I do? What is mine to give? I give it to you.
We're so grateful and thankful for all the good and wonderful things that come into our life. Whether it's money, time, effort, all we share with the church and our community, each other, our families. And in this moment of saying thank you, we're also saying thank you for all of the service of armed forces that we're honoring tomorrow. All the good that has come before us for generations. All the good that comes from God flowing through us. And we let it flow on out into our world. And for this we say thank you, God. And so it is.
Amen. We're now going to close our service. First, we're going to join hands and sing the peace song. And then we will say the prayer for protection to have the final closing. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
you.